All right, what's going on, everyone on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another pre-New York live stream. So on this pre-New York live stream, we're essentially going to go over a couple of assets. Make sure you guys are on the right side of the market, ready to get New York sessions started. Give me one second. All right, what's going on, everyone on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, let's fix this up just a little bit. We're good. That works. So I hope you guys are doing well. Feel free to go ahead and drop in the comments a pair that you all, or an asset that you all would like me to analyze. I'm going to do one random wild card for my YouTube family. You guys can go ahead and start posting that in the comments below, and I will check that towards the end of the pre-New York live, right? So for Euro USD, I'm definitely looking to take advantage of Euro USD this morning. For those students who traded live with me yesterday, right, we were able to peak around 8% on on AUD USD, Australian dollar versus US dollar, right? We were able to peak around 8%, which is 80% of an FTMO or any account challenge completed. Absolutely phenomenal. Hope you guys were able to join in on those live trading sessions if you are a student, a part of the mentorship program. So here we can see that price tapped into this area here. I am looking for possible sells to take place. I'm looking for price to respect this overall area here that you guys are looking at. If we don't respect this area, that's completely fine. Students of mine, you guys know exactly how to recover within the market. So we'll just use the recovery strategy. Now I get a lot of questions within my DMs about Mac. I hear you talking about the recovery strategy, but what actually is it? So the recovery strategy is something that I save only for my mentorship students, right? So if you want to know how I recover within the markets, how I make up after a loss, or how I stay on the right side of the markets to avoid that loss to begin with, the mentorship program is definitely for you, right? So this area here, we're going to essentially just break this down to the lower time frame and see if price is going to give us a valid entry opportunity. Now it's 6:27 or 6:23 right now, excuse me, but I will not start taking a trade until 8 a.m. So essentially I'm just going to allow London session to continue doing what it's doing, right? And as we move towards New York session, right, then we'll be monitoring these areas and going ahead and setting alerts and things like that for us to take advantage, right? But right now, everything is looking pretty good to go as it relates to Euro USD. So we're going to see if price is going to react to this higher time frame zone that we are currently at. And then I'll be looking for possible sells down into this region here. Actually, we can use this, right? I'll be looking for sells down into this region here as my possible take profit, right? Now for those students of mine, you guys know where my higher time frame target is based on the H4, the H2, things like that. If you don't and you are part of the mentorship, go ahead and check the trade alerts. They were uploaded last night for you guys just to break down all the assets that I'm looking at trading London and New York today, right? So if we go on to GBP USD, all right, we also have a possible trade for you guys here as well. So here's GBP USD. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for possible sells here as well, right? We have tapped into this region, all right, within the past hour or so. And I will be looking for a possible sell opportunity down into, down into this region here. Let's go back to the M15. Definitely. So I'll be looking for possible targets here. Even this region here is still very, very valid. Price could react here and then continue to push to the upside. So definitely keep that in mind. So these areas here are going to be my target for GBP USD if we get sellers to come into the market. Very straightforward. Nice. So not bad at all. Now, for those of you all who were able to join in on our live trading session yesterday, okay, let me go ahead and break down this trade for you guys. We are going to upload it to YouTube for you all as well. You guys have been telling me that you guys are really enjoying the live streams, and I'm glad you guys are for sure. So we took this trade here, okay, yesterday during New York session, and we took it live. So for those of you guys who joined in on, those of you all who are mentorship students who joined in on our live Wednesday New York trading session, right? You guys know I was actually at the dealership getting some work done to my vehicle, but we were still able to hop into this trade and make sure you guys are able to produce results that the world is not familiar with. So let's go ahead and break down this trade right here. Let me pull the screen back up for you guys. All right, let's get it. Perfect. Okay, so this was the higher time frame zone here. All right, higher time frame zone that I was telling my students that we were going to look for a possible reaction. Now, just because you see a reaction from price does not mean that price is going to just fall out of the sky once it reacts, okay? Price could react, give you some percentage return, and then continue to move in the opposite direction, which is why we have risk management rules, okay? We manage our risk a certain type of way in case the flow of the probability goes against us, all right? And that's what risk management is for. Make sure you guys are managing your accounts properly, all right? So here we can see that we have a higher low here, higher high, and then price creates this internal structure. Essentially, this is all substructure. We then break swing structure here, all right, push the downside, then price returns back into this point of interest here and then falls over to the downside. Right now, you guys know once we hit 5%, I count it as a successful day trade, and I tell you guys, feel free to hop out of the market, feel free to go ahead and close your trade, or sit on your hands, do nothing, but make sure you at least close 1% so you are risk-free, right? So for those of you all who do like to target 5% per trade, you guys are up yesterday. And for those of you all who allowed price to run just a little bit more, all right, like I said before, we peaked around 8.08%, which is pretty crazy, right? And one trade we produced on average what a hedge fund produces in a quarter. All right, absolutely fantastic. So that's what we're looking at here. All right, and then price, of course, rolls over to the upside. Now, if you did not close any percentage of this trade and you were just risk-free, then this was a break-even trade for you, right? But we hit 5%. Anytime we hit 5%, you guys should be contemplating on, should I go ahead and close the trade? 5% a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. That's how I like to look at it, right? And then price rolls over to the upside and continues to push, and overall, we flip this area here, all right? So we flip this area, and we're going to be looking to take possible sell opportunities up here within this region, okay, that I have broken down to my mentorship students. So we're not necessarily going to talk about this on YouTube because then I have to go into the lower time frames and things like that. But essentially, we could possibly look for AUD/USD to either sell at these areas or give us a reaction, maybe roll over to the downside, right? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. You guys should be on the right side of the market as it relates to GBP/USD and Euro/USD, right? Now, if these areas fail, that is completely fine. My students and I, we will simply just continue to trade the markets with our recovery strategy, right? So with that being said, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to let me know. But before we hop off the call, let me go ahead and break down an asset that you guys want me to. So someone says, am I worried about the news at 9 a.m.? So you don't necessarily have to hop into the market before 9 a.m. All right. If we have high impact news, more than likely I like to wait for that high impact news to release. All right. But if price gives me a valid entry, I'm in the market, I'm going to take it, right? There's a certain entry schematic that I like to look for on my lower time frames, correlating them with the higher time frame, and whether or not we have a regular supply or demand, whether or not we have a liquidity point of interest, whether or not we have a swing high or swing low that we're trading from, right? There are different methods that I used in order to correlate the higher time frame with the lower time frame, but I more than likely will wait for news to release. However, if I see my entry schematic forms within my valid zone, I'm more than likely going to be in the trade for sure. Give me 1 second, guys. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and go over USD JPY actually. Someone wants me to analyze USD JPY. I know we had a nice tank to the downside pretty recently here. Let's go ahead and remove all drawings. Let's start on the higher time frame and then we will work our way down. And this is going to be for, let's see. This is going to be for John MC. So shout out to John MC. He asked me to analyze USD JPY for him. So let's go ahead and analyze this pair. Let's break it down. Let's actually start on the daily time frame. All right, so on the daily time frame, we can see that we took out this structure here. All right, swept liquidity. Obviously, starting this retracement based on the daily time frame. So I'm just going to mark this entire thing up for you guys, and then what you guys can do is you guys can study the reactions at these different areas. So I definitely want to see what's in this wick here. And then we have more breaks here. So a little bit of imbalance here since we have that break of the swing low. All right, so let's drop down to the H4 time frame. All right, so as it relates to the H4 time frame, this is what we're looking at. All right, so refinement would be here. I would just use this entire region. Now, as it relates to this area here, this is looking pretty good for possible sells if price gives us the valid reaction that we need. Right, so right now we're looking at this region here. We don't necessarily have to look at all too much as it relates to the daily, simply because this is going to be a trade that you guys should be hopping in within session, right? So we really want to start to go down the time frames just a little bit. All right, let's add this refinement. Perfect. H1. All right, there we go. So we have tapped into this H1 refinement here. Now, let's see how the M15 is looking. I would not want to take this trade unless I saw bearish intent on the M15 time frame, I'm going to be honest with you, right? So what I would look for, even though we did refine this to the H1, yes, okay, but this zone was originally found on the H4 time frame. So I would like to see something like, so right now we're interacting with demand here, right? So before I actually take a sell position, I would like to see this demand being taken out, okay? Because right now, technically speaking, this low here is strong. And we are still, technically speaking, within an uptrend. So we swept this swing low here, but even though we swept this swing low, right, we still transitioned back into minor structure, and we could break swing structure, which is here. So I would wait within this area for price to transition from from minor back into substructure, and then from there you can easily target these lows that were produced yesterday during Asia session. But that's what I would look for. So right now, right, we would like to see this entire area being respected. Right, so we don't want to see price close above this supply if we're going to look for sells. Now, if we look for buys, that's easy. Look for this to be taken out here. Right, now, I can't necessarily show you guys how I take my specific entries and break it down. All right, let's say for my mentorship students, but this is a very, very easy type of trade here. Right, so we're going to essentially look for price to interact here. Right, look for the reaction. If we have a successful reaction, okay, then that means that we're going to take a sell. If we have a successful reaction, meaning that price does this. Taps here, pushes to the downside, right? Interacts with supply, breaks demand, that's successful, we'll take a sell here, right, on the M1. However, if price, let's say, reacts here and then creates a failed reaction, okay, then we'll take a buy here. Based on the supplier demand that's left behind, that's going to dictate where I'm going to look for my entries. All right, so that's how I would break down USD JPY. Not a bad trade at all, to be honest with you guys, now that we've broken it down and everything. And I'd just be looking for the higher time frame intent to continue to flow. All while keeping in mind we do have imbalances on the daily time frame that may want to be closed. So here we can see we take out this swing low here. All right, higher lows on both sides. And then we can see that we drop a little bit of imbalance here. Price could come back into this area, tap into this imbalance, and then roll over to the downside to target this low, right? So we just have to wait and see what happens. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys do have any questions, as always, feel free to contact me. Slide into the DMs. Let's see. Hey, Mac, I just signed up for the course. Can you please unlock the course? Okay, so for the individual who just signed up, within 24 hours, you'll automatically gain access to everything. So you're really good to go. Feel free to start going through the content. Feel free to start signing up for the sessions and things like that. And within the next couple hours, it'll automatically give you access to the courses as well as the webinars and the trade alerts as well, right? So congrats to the new student, right? Glad to have you a part. Glad to change your trading. Let's see what else we have. So Bowie Marks, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I look forward to your preliminary session. So feel free to go ahead and sign up for a one-on-one session. All right. During our preliminary one-on-one session, we're essentially going to figure out where you are right now within your current trading journey, all right? And then we're going to create you a plan as it relates to becoming funded or whatever your trading goals are, whether it's to become funded, whether it's to trade your own capital and continue to build your capital, or whether you have other trading goals. So essentially, I'm going to put you on a specific blueprint just for you, Mark. All right, and we're gonna move forward together, right? I'm looking forward to teaching you my trading plan, teaching you my strategy, and I'm looking forward to your review on the 3 institutional trading courses that are currently on the website. We get a lot of fantastic testimonials and a lot of really, really great feedback on the course. So be sure, take your time going through the course, Mark, and I'm glad that you are aboard, right? I look forward to trading with you. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I have to get ready for my daily agenda. All right, we're gonna get started trading around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys do have any questions, as always, hit up your boy. You know I got you covered. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love.